Schmitty here, welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk to you guys about what I think is the most overpowered and by far the best weapon right now in Black Ops 4. And to me, it's honestly a surprise that this thing has not been touched yet, especially when we just had a weapon balancing update yesterday. Somehow this thing has evaded 2 weapon balancing patches. And maybe it's just me, but I'm surprised that this thing has yet to be touched, nerfed, anything at all. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about the Auger DMR. So this thing is in the tactical rifle class. It's the very first one you unlock. As soon as you unlock create a class at level 5, you are available to make a class for this thing. It's a semi-auto single shot rifle. It's really accurate. It doesn't have a lot of recoil and it packs a punch. To me, this thing does everything you could want from a weapon except be full auto. So you do have to tap fire this thing. So if you're not a fan of single fire rifles, maybe you just don't have a good trigger finger or whatever, then maybe this gun's not for you. But to me, as long as you have a semi-decent trigger finger, you're going to be able to do very well with this thing. I feel like it's fairly easy to use. Like I said, it does not have a lot of recoil, even if you spam this thing. It seems like you can spam just about the whole mag and you're not going to get too much recoil. And for the most part, it's a 3-shot kill, maybe sometimes 4. Again, it kind of depends on ranges that you're at or if you're trying to shoot somebody through cover. And to me, this weapon is just phenomenal. It's OP a little bit in my mind just because of how many guns it beats out and how many times I've even gotten first shot on people, and this gun has just blown me away. And of course, you guys are going to be seeing this on screen, and this first gameplay you guys are seeing, this is like my first game coming off of just getting destroyed by this thing, and I'm like, man, I feel like I need to do a video about this weapon, so let me hop in, let me see how well I can do with this gun, get some gameplay. And I just pop off in this gameplay. I make some great plays. I even run out of ammo and like rocket a dude, you guys will see that, and I just go off. I think I end up finishing 32-1 here in this first game, which is just kind of funny because I'm like, let's see how OP this thing really is. And you know, as you can tell by my score line, I feel like a lot of people can do very well with this gun, and I've seen a lot of people do very well with it. And I don't really want to start a train of a whole bunch of people using it because it can be annoying to go against, especially, again, like I said, if someone's pretty decent with the weapon, can aim pretty well, and has a decent trigger finger. But if you guys are looking for probably the best gun in the game right now, maybe not the easiest to use, but I feel like if you're at least an average player, that you should be able to do pretty well with this thing. I mean, something that doesn't have a lot of recoil, something that packs a punch, usually a 3 to 4 shot kill the majority of the time, and on top of that, the fire rate on this thing is way higher than I think it should be. Like I said, you can spam this thing. You can get those 3 shots off that you need to kill somebody most of the time really quickly. It's not something like the SDM in this game, which is the semi-auto sniper, that there's a little bit of a delay in between the shots, and it's surely not even something like the Shiva in Black Ops 3 that was so slow between shots. Now, that thing was a little different. It was a 2-shot kill the majority of the time. But you guys get the idea. Something that is a 3 to 4 shot kill the majority of the time in this game when the health is much higher than what it normally is. Most weapons are going to be 4 to 5 shots to kill at least. So if you get something that's 3 to 4, it's got a good fire rate on it for something that's semi-auto, and it doesn't have a lot of recoil. For me, that's just a recipe for an insanely good weapon. Now, I already like a lot of the tactical rifles in this game. A lot of people think the ABR is really weak. I don't really see that right now. I mean, I don't think it's like insanely strong, but I think in the right hands, the ABR is still a very good weapon in this game. And the Swordfish just got a buff yesterday, a little one, nothing too noticeable, but a little bit of a buff to a weapon that was already pretty good. And I mean, both of those tactical rifles are burst weapons. They're really good, but I don't think those things even stack up to what the Auger is. And it's one of those weapons that, like I said, kind of gets forgot about. It's a tactical rifle, maybe not the most popular weapon class in the game. You know, a lot of people are going to run ARs and, you know, even more so SMGs now that they've got buffed a couple times. They're a lot better. People don't look too much at the tactical rifles, especially one that's a semi-auto. Semi-auto weapons aren't the most popular in COD games, but this might be one of the better ones that we've gotten in a Call of Duty, at least in a little while. And like I said, to me, I don't know how this thing has gotten through these 2 weapon balancing patches. It has to be because nobody's really used it enough to notice how good it is. But in the right hands, this thing is absolutely filthy. And that's just the base weapon. There's so many other things you can do to this gun to make it even better. And so now I'll talk about some attachments and some setups that I like to use with this weapon to make it even better than just the standard version even is. Because I feel like this gun has a lot of attachments that are very good, and you know, for a weapon that's as good as it is, maybe shouldn't have this good of attachments to be able to go along with it, but that's just me. First of all, you get FMJ, which I think is, for the first time in a long time for a Call of Duty, a really good attachment to run. Usually in Call of Duty, FMJ is just not that big of a deal, but because of armor in this game and FMJ being able to penetrate that, I like running FMJ a lot, just in case I run into armored users. It's not something that I run into too often, but I just hate running into it, so a lot of times I will run FMJ on a weapon if it has it, and so I like running it on this weapon as well. And with the high damage that it has, if you find somebody that runs behind a wall or is trying to take cover, you're going to be able to shoot through that wall pretty easily with this weapon because of its high damage and of course having FMJ. So I like to run that a lot. FMJ 2 is just more penetration. I mean, I guess if you want that, then go for it, but I think FMJ 1 is plenty. I think it's something that is great. I love running it on this gun. Next is High Cal, and this gun actually has High Cal 1 and High Cal 2, which, you know, High Cal, just like many of the other Call of Duties that it's been in, allows you to get that extra damage to the head, which if you can get a headshot with this thing in the game, I think if you just hit one headshot, it can bring it down to a 2-shot kill. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine that with High Cal in this weapon, you know, hitting somebody in the head at least just one time is going to dramatically reduce that time to kill. Again, don't quote me, I'm not exclusive ace, I don't have all the stats yet for this gun to be able to tell you how much High Cal affects it, but I do like running High Cal on this gun because it is pretty dirty. I feel like headshots for the most part in this game are something that if you can get them, they're very helpful, and running High Cal is only going to enhance that. And like I said, this gun has high caliber too, and with the high accuracy of this gun, you know, it's pretty easy to control where you want to hit your shots. And if you can land one of those shots to the upper chest, you don't even have to hit the head. It drops down with High Cal 2 to the upper chest. If you can hit one there, that's only going to increase the time to kill on this weapon, making it even that much better. So as long as you can aim relatively high, running High Cal 1 and High Cal 2 on this gun is something that's very, very good. Next, I'll kind of talk about the optics. Now, with the tactical rifles, they all come with their own sight. You can't run the tactical rifle's iron sight like maybe you would in past Call of Duties if there was a burst gun that you just unlocked or a semi-auto. It would come default with an iron sight. In this game, it's different. All the tactical rifles come with their own sight. It's usually like a 2-time scope, something similar to like the recon scope. And I actually kind of like the one that the auger comes with. Now, I'm not running in any of the gameplays that you guys are seeing. I just felt like running a red dot would allow me to run and gun a little bit more if I needed to. It was just something that I had an extra spot, so I figured I'd just switch it up to the red dot, be able to allow me to get in a more variety of gunfights. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the stock sight that comes with this thing. Like I said, it's very similar to the recon scope, which I think the recon scope is actually pretty viable in Black Ops 4 overall in most guns. That's a story for another day, but I like the recon scope in this game as it is, and with all the tactical rifles coming stock with that, I think is awesome, and it gives you the ability to run these weapons and not have to spend a point if you don't want to just to get an optic. So if you can use that stock sight in the auger, I mean, go for it. It's going to save you a spot. You can run a different attachment if you want to. But the red dot is pretty nice to be able to run on this thing, like I said, to get a variety of gunfights. Some things I don't feel are necessary: long barrel on this thing. I don't really notice a problem with the shot drop-off, the time to kill drop-off at range. So I think long barrel seems pretty useless to me, but maybe if you feel like it would help, then go for it. And fast mags is kind of a in-betweener. I just feel like there's better attachments to run on this thing. I don't think the reload's all that slow. But if you don't feel the need to run the other attachments and you're just not really comfortable with the reload on this gun, then I guess go for fast mag, but I just feel like there's better attachments to run. And lastly, I don't even think I have this thing unlocked yet for the auger, and you guys aren't going to see it in these games, and it's something that, you know, I've talked about the auger and how good it is. It's even better with its operator mod. The operator mod turns this thing into a 2-burst. That actually maintains a pretty good fire rate on it. It's not something where like you get to 2-burst it, but there's an extra delay in between shots. It actually maintains a really good fire rate. I think it makes this gun super, super overpowered. I've only picked it up off bodies a few times. Like I said, I don't think I have it unlocked yet, and I've definitely been killed by it more than once. But I've seen plenty of this thing with the operator mod in action, and I'm excited to be able to unlock it and use it because I think it's going to make this gun insane. And it kind of makes it so, like I said, if you're not a fan of just semi-auto single shot rifles, like having to tap the trigger for each shot, and you want something that's a little bit different, I mean, the burst is gonna vary that up a little bit. And if you pair that up with high caliber or even high caliber 2, like I said, and you can hit them, you know, head or upper chest, you might be able to get a 1-burst with this thing even, which is just wild to think about. Those are my favorite things to run on the auger. Like I said, I haven't gotten to use the operator mod yet, but I've seen it in action plenty of times to know that it's very good. I got friends that have used it, told me it's very good on that weapon. The only downside to the operator mod is how many points it takes up in your class, so in my opinion, if you're able to run without it, it may be better to do so, but it's definitely going to make the gun very good if you put that on there. But that's going to about do it for today's video. The auger is a great weapon. I don't know why more people don't use it. Again, I feel like it's something that just because it's a tactical rifle, it's a semi-auto, people kind of overlook it. Don't overlook the auger. It's a default unlock. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the best weapons in the game right now. I would highly recommend you guys give this thing a go, run a variety of attachments on it, and just see how well you can do. And I mean, use it while you can, because I feel like at some point this thing is going to have to catch some kind of nerf, if anything, maybe to the fire rate or the recoil on it, because in my opinion this thing is just too good not to use. So anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Have you used the auger? Have you been able to see the kind of damage that this thing can do? do? Or have you just totally overlooked the gun, not used it at all because it's a semi-auto? And maybe try it out and come back to this video and let me know how you do with it. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure to smack the Schmidt like button down below if you guys are new to the channel. Looking forward to reviewing content. You get the right place. Hit the subscribe button down below as well. Thursday weekend sounds you guys doing the videos. Go live. Hope you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.